standing up, and if he wants one guy sitting down, that's God's business. Peter brought that up. Jesus gave Peter all that. Here's what I want you to do. Peter, you're going to do this, and Peter, you're going to do that. And Peter's like, what about John? And Jesus basically said, if I have him tarry until I come. See, I'm the boss. Okay, I can do that. Then he says, number 7, you come to know God. Listen to this. Here we go. You come to know God by experience as you obey him, and he accomplishes his work through you. See, that word obey, it sounds good and spiritual. But the truth is, it is a setup for works-based salvation and works-based continuance with God. It's a setup for that. As long as you obey, and as long as you get in the groove, and as long as you make the adjustments, then God is going to be God. Then you're going to feel the experience. And this is exactly what this pastor's wife was searching for. She was searching for this religious high that made her accepted in God. Let me straighten all this out for you. Okay, let me tell you where he's wrong. Number 1, let me tell you how I know God. I know God because his Spirit reveals him to me in the pages of this book alone. And if anybody says that there is an aspect of God that is unknowable outside of the Scriptures, they are lying through their teeth. Let me go back to the Garden of Eden. In the Garden of Eden, in Genesis chapter 3, here's what Lucifer said, the serpent. By the way, his name's Lucifer, right? Well, are we on the same page here? Did you get that part in the Watchman broadcast about the stones? Every precious stone was thy covering. All of those precious stones of Lucifer, you know what they are? They're Lucifers. They're light bearers. Every one of them. Okay? Every stone that is embedded and makes up the devil were light bearers. They're gems that light travels through, and it takes in light and it displays it out. That's what a Lucifer is, and that's the Bible. The King James Bible's right. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? But anyway, here is the devil in the Garden of Eden, and he says, "Yea, hath God said? Yea, hath God said?" Then he contradicts, "Ye shall not surely die." That's in direct opposition to what God said. And then he said, "For God doth know that in the day that you eat thereof, ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil." You know what the devil was doing? He was saying that there is an experience and a knowledge from God that is not contained in his word. And so Henry Blackaby, Southern Baptist, okay, the Southern Baptists are going down the same toilet that all of the other denominations are going down. And if you ride that ride, that's where you're going. He says you come to know God by experience as you obey him, and he accomplishes his work through. So that's his 7 rituals. That is Henry Blackaby's 7 rituals that you must perform in order to get this religious high that you're seeking for. And if you don't get it, it's because you didn't do it right. I like for people to be free. I like for people to be free. I like what God has done for me. He has made me free in so many ways. I cannot ever enumerate them. But God has made me free from religious bondage, and I am as religious as anybody is. I used to be in that kind of bondage that I had to perform, I had to do all these functions and do all these works in order for God to accept me. And I've read the Bible, and I'm telling you that for by grace are you saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is a gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. And you see what happens when you become like Henry Blackaby. Then when you get these little religious feelings, these little highs that you are experiencing, you brag about them. You tell everybody what you did to get there, and that's what Henry Blackaby is all about. It's about what you did to get there. And God, you know what that is, don't you? That is you sitting in God's seat. there's somebody else in the Bible who wants to sit in God's seat. Yes, Lucifer, that's who it is. There was something else here that I read. Here's a quote from Blackaby in his book. Knowing God only comes through experience. That is a lie. That is a lie. It's a lie, 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 lie. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Knowing God only comes through experience as He reveals Himself to me through my experiences with Him. That is a joke. And here it again. Jezebel hates this. She hates it. Okay? She hates the book. And so her goal in the church is to get you out of here by telling you that there are experiences and things and these little, I keep calling them spiritual highs. It's almost like taking heroin. You take this heroin and you just have this, whoa, man, this is awesome. So from people that have taken heroin will tell you that it is without a doubt the greatest full body experience that you can ever have in your life. Okay? And that's what these religious dope pushers are peddling. They're heroin pushers, heroin dealers, telling you that if you perform these little 7 rituals and you get your mind in these little 7 ways, then God's going to release this little experience for you like heroin. And you're going to get this high and you're going to, oh, praise Jesus, while the band is playing and all this stuff. And you're going to have, but it's going to go away. And you're going to have to go back and get more and get more and get more and get more. And it never stops. And I like the old hymn, my faith has found a resting place, not in device or creed, I trust the ever-living one. I forgot the rest of it. But my faith has found a resting place. I'm not searching for something greater than this, but that is where everybody's being led. Here is somebody else here. Southern Baptist. This is Beth Moore, and she is of the same ilk. And now, if you're mad at me for bringing this picture up, and I'm going to talk bad about her, if you're mad at me about that, then wait till you see the Watchman video broadcast next week. By the way, she is saying, un verdadero amante de Dios hablaba de practicar la presencia de Dios. How's my Spanish? How's my Spanish doing? That's not very good. Okay? Here is Beth Moore. And she is, Beth Moore. Oh, Beth Moore's coming to Beth Moore's coming. We're going to have Beth Moore in our church. Beth Moore's coming to speak. Can I tell you that that's unbiblical? Oh, Pastor Mike, don't say that. I'm going to tell you it's unbiblical, and I'm not going to tell you where. I'm going to make you watch the Watchman video broadcast next week if I live long enough to get it out there. You're going to, and those of you who know the Bible, you already know why having her come to speak at your church is wrong. Okay? But anyway, here is, let's see here. Where is, here it is right here. I have a video. This is Beth Moore, who is speaking on behalf of it was the video teaching, I'm trying to think of it, Be Still and Know. Be Still and Know. It's about prayer, and it has swept through the churches, and this is so cool. And listen, I'm telling you what, if you and I are the only ones who are going to stand against this stuff, then so be it. But do not get swept away by this nonsense. Listen to Beth Moore talk about how great contemplative prayer is. Take a listen.
Mother, Father.
A true lover of God once spoke about practicing God's presence.
Here it is.
To me, that's such a part of contemplative prayer.
Yep.
That we are able to absorb the reality that as we commune with God through prayer, that He is with us, that His Spirit, for those of us who are in Christ, fills us, that we are drawn near to Him, that our souls find rest in Him.
By their Father.
It's a setup. It's a setup. She's trying to tell you that unless you perform the ritual of contemplative prayer, which undoubtedly somebody's got a teaching out there, because you can't just do contemplative prayer. Nobody can. You have to be trained in it. It has to be, you have to want to do it, and you have to be taught how to do it. And it wouldn't surprise me if somebody out there somewhere has got 7 things that you can do to reach the contemplative state. Wouldn't surprise me a bit. Folks, this is the sad condition of the church right now. The so-called spiritual leaders that the big denominations and the big groups and the big ministries and the big money publishing houses and everybody else, the ones that they have put out, you have to ask yourself, where did they come from? What do they believe? What do they stand for? Where are they taking us? And nobody's asking any questions. Nobody's asking any questions. These people have a big name. They have big ministry. They come recommended by Zondervan and Tyndale and Nav Press, and they come recommended by the radio guys, and they're at that all the. You go to the Women of Faith conference, Beth Moore's there. Stay away from the Women of Faith conference. Stay away from the men's conference. Stay away from the youth conferences. Stay away from that stuff, because they're selling these people as the spiritual leaders now that's going to lead the church through the transformation that is necessary to bring us to the kingdom of God. See, it's all about dominion theology, and in dominion theology, I know who wants the dominion. Here's another one. This is my next door neighbor, Joyce Myers. You didn't know that, did you? She lives in the same county as me. Okay, we be neighbors. Okay, her in her multi-million-dollar house, and me in my double-wide trailer. And so anyway, somebody sent this to me, and they said, you know, Pastor Mike, it's just curious to me that here's Joyce on the stage. She's in the center of a circle. I have something to say about that next week too. And there's 3 upside-down triangles on the stage. That just looks funny to me. And I'm going, I get this. I get this. Let me